So, Galbrena is finally out, and she's absolutely bonkers. Not exactly a must pull, but definitely the kind of unit that is nice to have, especially if you're cooking up a mono fusion team with Lupa or Brant. Just don't expect her to throw out massive 6-digit crits, because the beauty of Galbrena's damage is how it stacks up piece by piece into one colossal total. Think of her less as a burst queen and more as a finely tuned machine that never stops dealing damage. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? Now, welcome to version 2.7 of Wuthering Waves, a time when the devs are clearly shifting gears yet again. Earlier versions gave us units so specific that you needed an entire thesis to make them work. Zani and Phoebe combos or Carlotta relying on Shakona to function properly. Thankfully, the second half of version 2.x has loosened those chains with characters like Yuno and Augusta who can hold their own even when soloing. And in that context, Galbrena's arrival feels like a bold step forward. So, who exactly is Galbrena? In short, Galbrena's a fusion unit who channels the energy of 1,000 flames and then burns it all away in style. She's an echo skill based attacker, which means most of her power revolves around echo skill damage. It's the same design direction we saw with Cantarella and Prolova, but in Galbrena's case, it's tuned up to 11. Her entire gameplay revolves around transitioning from a base state to a fully empowered form, the demon hypostasis stance. At base, Galbrena builds two types of energy, Afterflame and Synflame. The former comes from casting echo skills, while the latter charges through her normal and resonance attacks. Once she hits 100 Synflame, she can activate her empowered skill, which not only deals AoE damage but also transforms her into demon hypostasis. That's when the fun begins. And in her demon state, all her attacks are juiced up to ridiculous levels. Every empowered basic, heavy, or skill attack burns Purging Flame, the energy you just converted, and deals echo skill damage on top of it. This isn't a small power boost either. Her forte circuit may look complicated on paper, but to simplify it, Galbrena gets stronger, like way stronger. Her empowered attacks are the kind of numbers that make you squint at your screen and question reality. Unfortunately for this video, I cannot show those numbers just yet because my Galbrena isn't fully built. But if that's not enough, her ultimate or her resonance liberation rains down a fiery barrage for 14 straight seconds, massively boosting her empowered abilities. Combine that with her innate 20% attack buff triggered by nearly every part of her kit, and you've got a character who lives in a permanent state of overdrive. Her damage scales flat, not multiplicatively, which means you're looking at consistent monstrous performance across rotations. Let's talk numbers now. Her inherent skill 1 adds up to 20% stacking self-amplification whenever her empowered attacks hit, making her scale into absurd territory. Her second inherent skill regenerates stamina during her demon form, a godsend for anyone who spams heavy attacks. The end result? A character who's simple, smooth, and dangerously addictive to play, especially once you've figured out the kinks and the nuances of her gameplay style. Now, her rotations. Galbrena has two main approaches, one casual and the other one is sweaty. The casual version goes like this: intro skill, then echo skill, then basic attack to max Synflame, and then empowered resonance skill, then her ultimate. Spam attacks until your Purging Flame is out. The sweaty version adds a layer. After the ultimate, weave in heavy attacks before going back to basics. It's a slightly higher effort for slightly higher payoff. That said, due to recent Forte updates, the simpler rotation now actually wins out. Sometimes, you know what, less is actually more. And maybe that's mainly because we are using her mostly on mono fusion. But in Prolova's team, you are okay using her sweaty version. Now, in terms of team synergy, Galbrena loves anyone who can trigger echo skills reliably. her damage scales with the number of unique echo skills cast used by allies. So while she can max out at 5, most setups will hit 3 or 4 depending on your teammates' kits. Mortifi and Shorekeeper make excellent companions, providing a consistent utility and synergy with her heavy attack patterns. If you're going premium, pairing her with Cantarello or Frolova adds some real punch. But her true partner in crime hasn't arrived yet, which is Shui Yuan. So let's just say the best is yet to come for Galbrena. Now, let's break down her sequences. Sequence 1 is a must-have, giving her up to 80% crit damage when at full Afterflame, and adding super armor to her demon form. Sequence 2 is where the game breaks, turning her standard 20% attack buff into an astronomical 370% bonus attack. Yes, you heard that right. Now, Sequence 3 and beyond just pile on more power, bonus liberation damage, team-wide buffs, and massive skill multipliers. It's the kind of scaling that makes you wonder if someone at Guru Games accidentally typed an extra 0 and is bound to be fired very soon. So, is Galbrena worth pulling? Absolutely. She's sleek, destructive, and ridiculously easy to play. Her damage scales off player execution, not mechanical complexity, which makes her one of the most accessible high-performance DPS units in the game. Even without her best future partner, she's a monster against bosses and a powerhouse in general content. But having said that, it doesn't mean she is a must-have right now, or it is hard to say yet if she is a must-have, as we only can use her in Monofusion and in Frolova teams. As a Changli replacement or substitute, she does offer something unique and smoother once you've figured out her kinks. Sure, for new players, knock yourselves out. Grab her, she's fun and amazing, etc, blah blah blah. But for those with built teams, she might just be overindulgence. Now, before I end, I just want to talk a bit about some areas of concern that I found using her. Her mid-air forte circuit or hell-bent barrage is not worth using. It takes way too long for her to deal much damage, and in some cases, the probability of missing your target is very high. Against bosses who love to move around, it is a liability. Plus, the camera angle doesn't help. In addition, using it also doesn't help her concerto regeneration. Given that Monofusion relies on quick bursts of attack, this mid-air attack doesn't flow smoothly with Lupa, which means she can't take advantage of her enhanced intro skill. It is best to just do ground-heavy attacks as it provides for a smoother rotation. However, we've only seen one half of her team build, so it might be different once Shui Yuan is finally out. Now, as for her forte Hellstride damage, it is a constant 666. So, yeah, totally demonic. Now, I've seen enough units to know if they will become awesome, even if they haven't yet fully been built, okay? And I know, seeing her talent level at 6, she can deal a lot of damage in the aggregate. I won't see 300k upfront damage. No, that's not how she works. But she will deal massive damage in increments. She's not just stylish, she's lethal. And when that one missing piece of her Echo skill dream team finally drops, well, let's just say she will make evil reign again. So, if this video resonated with you, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for massive gacha luck. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video drop. Goodbye!